For decades, castor oil has been regarded as a cure-all, a humble home remedy passed down from mothers and grandmothers who swore by its power. It's been used to soothe digestive troubles, ease joint pain, promote hair growth, and even reduce inflammation. But here's what most people don't realize, especially those over 60. When used incorrectly, castor oil doesn't just fail to help. It can actively harm you. Yes, it's natural. Yes, it's been around for generations. But natural doesn't always mean safe. In fact, some of the most dangerous health mistakes I've seen in older adults stem from misusing so-called natural remedies. Castor oil is one of them, and the risks only grow with age. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to change, more fragile, more reactive, and less forgiving of errors we once brushed off in our younger years. What your body tolerated at 30 or 40 might now send you to the emergency room at 70. That's not fear-mongering. That's biology. That's fact. Castor oil is a potent stimulant laxative. It forces your intestines to contract hard. That might sound like a good thing if you're constipated, but if there's even a partial bowel obstruction, a hidden blockage you may not even be aware of, those intense contractions can cause tearing, internal bleeding, or worse, a full-blown perforation of the bowel. That's not just painful, it's life-threatening. And the danger doesn't stop at the digestive system. Castor oil can cause sudden dehydration, dramatic shifts in electrolyte balance, and unpredictable interactions with common medications. If you're on blood pressure pills, diuretics, blood thinners, or heart medications, as many Americans over 60 are, using castor oil without guidance isn't just a bad idea. It's a silent disaster waiting to happen. But here's the truly terrifying part. Many older adults use castor oil with the best intentions. They remember their parents using it. They're trying to avoid prescription drugs. They just want relief. But their bodies have changed and they don't know the risks they're walking into. That's why I'm speaking up. Because too many people are being harmed by what they think is helping. Because one spoonful of the wrong thing at the wrong time can turn into an ambulance ride, a hospital stay, or a health scare that never needed to happen. If you're over 60 and considering castor oil, stop. Breathe. Check with your doctor. Understand what your body is dealing with today, not what worked for your mother 40 years ago. Castor oil can still be helpful, but only if used wisely, sparingly, and with full awareness of the risks. In the right hands, castor oil is a tool. In the wrong hands, it's a trap. The hidden danger. Why using castor oil with a bowel obstruction could be deadly. Imagine this scenario. You're feeling bloated. You haven't had a proper bowel movement in days. You're uncomfortable, frustrated, maybe even a little scared. So, like many others in your generation, you reach for an old, familiar solution: castor oil. It's what your mother used. It worked when you were younger. But this time could be different. This time, it could be fatal. Here's the truth most people don't know. Using castor oil when you may have a bowel obstruction is one of the most dangerous mistakes you can make, especially after age 60. And what makes it even more terrifying? Many people don't even realize they have a blockage until it's too late. Let me explain. Castor oil is a powerful stimulant laxative. It doesn't just gently nudge your bowels to move, it forces them to contract aggressively, pushing the contents of your intestines forward. Now, if your intestinal tract is clear, that may offer temporary relief. But if there's a partial blockage, whether from scar tissue, inflammation, a tumor, or even severe constipation, those intense contractions don't help. They attack. In medical terms, this can lead to something called intestinal perforation, a horrifying complication where the pressure builds up behind the obstruction until it tears through the bowel wall. At that point, the contents of your gut spill into the abdominal cavity. This isn't just a stomachache. This is an emergency. You'll need immediate surgery. Your life will be on the line. But it doesn't stop there. Once the bowel is perforated, infection sets in quickly. Bacteria flood your system. Your body goes into septic shock. And if you're over 60, your ability to fight infection is already reduced. Your recovery, if you make it, will be slow, painful, and uncertain. What makes this even more tragic is that many seniors make this mistake with good intentions. They just want a relief. They don't want to rely on more medications. They remember simpler times. But they don't realize that their bodies have changed. Their intestinal tissue is thinner, less resilient. Their hydration levels are more fragile. Their risks are higher. Worse yet, bowel obstructions often come with subtle symptoms. Abdominal cramping, nausea, a feeling of fullness, or even just a general sense of unease. These signs are often dismissed as normal or just aging. But masking those symptoms with castor oil? That's like pouring gasoline on a fire and hoping for the best. So let me be clear, if you are over 60 and you have not had a proper diagnosis, do not use castor oil for constipation. If there's even a slight chance you have a blockage, seek medical evaluation first. A simple scan could save your life. Castor oil isn't always a cure. In the presence of a bowel obstruction, it's a loaded weapon. Don't gamble with your health. Know the danger. Choose wisely. And when in doubt, talk to a professional before taking matters into your own hands. A silent collision, the hidden danger of mixing castor oil with medications. You've probably heard the saying, natural means safe. But let me challenge that idea, because when it comes to mixing castor oil with medications, natural doesn't just mean unsafe. It can mean catastrophic. Every single day I see patients, smart, well-meaning adults, who unknowingly gamble with their lives by combining castor oil with their daily medications. They don't mean to. They're not reckless. They're trying to be healthy. But they're playing a dangerous game they don't even realize they're in. One with serious, even deadly consequences. Let's break this down. Castor oil is not just a lubricant. It's a stimulant laxative. It forces your intestines to contract and evacuate, fast. But what many people don't understand is that when your digestive tract speeds up like that, it changes how your body absorbs medication. Your carefully balanced pill schedule, your heart meds, your blood thinners, your diabetes drugs, gets thrown into chaos. Here's what that really means. If you're on a blood thinner like warfarin, for example, and you take castor oil, you might not absorb enough of the drug. Your blood thickens, your stroke risk skyrockets. One clot in the wrong place, and your life changes forever, or ends in a moment. If you're taking heart medications like digoxin or beta blockers, castor oil can increase or decrease their absorption unpredictably. One dose might hit too hard, sending your heart rate crashing. The next might not work at all, leaving you vulnerable to heart failure, dizziness, or sudden cardiac arrest. And if you're on diabetes medication, especially insulin or oral hypoglycemics, castor oil can cause wild fluctuations in blood sugar. You could suddenly crash into hypoglycemia, lightheaded and shaking, or spike into dangerous highs that damage your kidneys, eyes, and nerves. Here's the most frightening part. These interactions aren't obvious. They don't always cause pain. You won't feel a warning sign. You might just collapse, or feel confused, or fall asleep and never wake up. This is especially true for older adults, because as we age, our kidneys slow down, our liver becomes less efficient, and our margin for error shrinks. What your body tolerated at 40 might send you to the ER at 70. I'm not saying castor oil is evil, I'm saying it's powerful. And when mixed with medications, especially without medical guidance, it becomes a chemical wildcard. One that can neutralize, magnify, or completely destabilize the very drugs keeping you alive. So before you reach for that natural remedy, stop and ask, what else is in my system right now? Don't assume it's safe because it comes from a plant. Hemlock is a plant. Cyanide occurs in nature. Nature can heal, but it can also kill. Talk to your doctor, talk to your pharmacist. Do not mix castor oil with prescription medications without professional oversight, because your body isn't a science experiment. And this isn't just a mistake, it's a potentially fatal oversight. The detox deception. Why regular castor oil use could destroy your health. In a world obsessed with quick fixes and miracle cleanses, many people are reaching for castor oil as their go-to detox solution. It's touted as a natural, safe way to flush out toxins and restore vitality. But what you may not realize is that using castor oil regularly as a detox method isn't just misguided, it's potentially harmful and could destroy your body's natural processes. Let me tell you something shocking. Castor oil is not a detox. It is a powerful laxative, and when used frequently, it can wreak havoc on your digestive system, liver, and even your electrolyte balance. If you think you can use it like some harmless cleanse, think again. You are playing a dangerous game that could leave you worse off than before. Let's start with the liver. The liver is your body's natural detox powerhouse, processing waste and toxins, breaking down fats, and producing essential proteins. It works hard to keep your body in balance, but when you flood it with a stimulant laxative like castor oil on a regular basis, you are putting unnecessary strain on this vital organ. Over time, your liver may start to suffer, and your body's natural detox system could begin to malfunction. But it gets worse. Regular use of castor oil can also disrupt your digestive system's balance. The human gut thrives on routine. Your intestines rely on a healthy rhythm of peristalsis, the wave-like muscle contractions that move food through your digestive tract. When you use castor oil too often, your gut can become lazy. It becomes reliant on the stimulant properties of the oil, and over time, your body may stop moving waste effectively on its own. The result? Chronic constipation and a digestive system that no longer works properly without the aid of harsh chemicals. You can see how this becomes a dangerous cycle. Let's talk about your electrolyte levels. The critical minerals in your body, such as sodium, potassium, and magnesium, that help regulate heart function, muscle contractions, and nerve signaling. Castor oil is notorious for flushing out not only waste, but also these essential electrolytes. Dehydration becomes a very real concern, and with it, the risk of developing heart arrhythmias, muscle cramps, or even seizures. Imagine your heart skipping a beat or your muscles locking up, all because you thought a regular castor oil cleanse was the answer to better health. But perhaps the most insidious aspect of using castor oil regularly is the long-term damage it can cause to your body's delicate balance. The more often you use castor oil, the more it can lead to dependency. That means your body starts to rely on an external substance to trigger bowel movements, and the natural function of your intestines begins to deteriorate. In severe cases, this can lead to long-term bowel dysfunction, an irreversible condition that can take years to recover from, if ever. The truth is, there is no magic pill or shortcut when it comes to detoxing. Your body is capable of doing this naturally, through proper hydration, a balanced diet rich in fiber, and regular exercise. Castor oil should never be your first choice for detoxing or cleansing. When used properly, it has its place, but regular use is a dangerous mistake that could seriously harm your health in the long run. So before you decide to use castor oil as your go-to detox method, stop and think, is this really what your body needs? Or is it a quick, unsustainable fix that could cause irreparable damage to your digestive system and overall health? The bottom line: castor oil, a risk you should avoid. In a world where health trends come and go, it's tempting to jump on the latest bandwagon, especially when it promises quick fixes and natural remedies. Castor oil has certainly made its rounds as a so-called miracle cure for everything from constipation to detoxification. But here's the shocking truth. While castor oil may have some benefits when used properly, the dangers of misusing it are far too great to ignore. If you're still relying on castor oil for routine detoxes or digestive cleanses, it's time to stop immediately and reassess. Let's get straight to the point. Castor oil is not the harmless, all-natural solution you've been led to believe. When misused, it can result in severe health consequences that may leave you with lifelong issues. The idea of using castor oil for regular detoxes or as a go-to bowel solution is not only misguided, it's downright dangerous. In fact, the more you rely on it, the more you risk damaging your digestive system, impairing your liver, and disrupting your body's natural balance. Perhaps the most concerning aspect is the effect castor oil has on your digestive system. It's a powerful laxative, yes, but that doesn't mean it should be used recklessly. If you're using castor oil as a regular detox, you're turning your digestive system into a ticking time bomb. Over time, your intestines become reliant on the stimulant properties of the oil, and you may find yourself struggling with chronic constipation, dependency, and long-term damage to your natural bowel function. This isn't a temporary setback, it's a downward spiral into an irreversible condition where your body no longer works without the aid of harsh chemicals. But the risks don't stop there. Castor oil doesn't just work on your digestive tract, it floods your system with toxins and depletes your body's essential electrolytes like potassium and magnesium. You may think you're cleansing, but in reality, you're leaving your body vulnerable to life-threatening complications like dehydration, heart arrhythmias, and muscle dysfunction. Is a quick detox really worth risking your long-term health? The answer is a resounding no. Furthermore, mixing castor oil with medications without proper consultation with a healthcare provider is a fatal mistake that too many people make. Castor oil can interfere with your medications and exacerbate existing health problems, especially for those with underlying conditions like heart disease, kidney problems, or gastrointestinal disorders. Combining castor oil with prescription or over-the-counter drugs could be a recipe for disaster, leading to complications that could take months or even years to resolve. Let's be clear, there is no shortcut to health. Your body is designed to detox itself naturally through the liver, kidneys, and digestive system. You don't need to rely on drastic measures like castor oil to help your body flush out toxins. In fact, you could be doing more harm than good by disrupting your body's natural processes. Your health is a marathon, not a sprint. And relying on extreme detox methods like castor oil is a dangerous gamble that will ultimately compromise your long-term well-being. The bottom line is simple. Castor oil should never be used as a regular detox or bowel solution. It is not a cure-all, and it certainly isn't a substitute for a healthy lifestyle. If you want to truly take care of your body, focus on eating a balanced diet, staying hydrated, getting enough sleep, and exercising regularly. These time-tested methods are the real key to lasting health. Don't fall for the detox myths. Your body deserves better.